In his new capacity as New South Wales Minister for Energy, Mr Sheehan made a flying trip to the Lake Macquarie area today to, as he put it, take a look at the farm. And the farm he's inherited from the previous Energy Minister, Mr Lander, does have its problems. In contrast to last year, the state now has almost too much electricity, placing something of a question mark over a power station like Wangi, which dates back to 1956 and does need some refurbishing. However, Mr Sheehan says Wangi is to stay, in the short term at least.
Current staffing and manning levels at Wangi are not expected to be altered before the end of winter 1984, so that's virtually a 2-year guarantee of their present situation. You've got to realise, of course, that it's only in the latter part of last year that the Electricity Commission was restructured and commenced an exhaustive inquiry into itself in the face of changing consumer demand and industrial demand for electric power, and of course that would seem to me to affect more the bringing online of new plant than pose any more serious threat to the older plant than might otherwise be forced by old age and so forth anyway.
You also looked at Newstand Colliery, and in any rationalisation plan, that colliery seems to be the Elcom colliery that might be at risk. What is its future?
Well, its future seems to me to be quite assured. I was quite interested to see what's been done there in terms of training and also in terms of new technology being employed in the mines themselves. And we're hopeful, of course, that it will continue to produce and that its produce will be used in power stations as close as possible to the source of supply.
Steinar Bratton of Norway won the World Cup ski jumping event near Oslo in Norway today. His accumulated points were 229.4 ahead of his nearest rival Horst Buelow of Canada. In third place on 224.4 was Austria's Armin Kogler. Gusting winds just below the permitted 5 metres a second limit hampered many competitors and caused several dramatic falls. Amongst those who fell was overall leader Matti Nykänen, who needed to finish second to maintain his grip on the championship. The two final World Cup competitions will be held on the Plancia Hill in Yugoslavia in 2 weeks' time. Arsenal in red and white beat European Cup holders Aston Villa in the quarter-final match at the Gunners' home ground at Highbury in London. It was a comfortable win, 2-0, as Arsenal's vanguard of Tony Woodcock and Alan Sunderland looked notably more dangerous than in recent weeks, showing a sharpness and variety which had been lacking. The first goal came 31 minutes into the match from Woodcock, with Yugoslavian national player Vladimir Petrovic sealing the match after 36 minutes.
Yes, that's correct. I felt it was my responsibility as manager of the Rugby League to bring the matter up again because of the publicity that we have received and the Sydney Rugby League is receiving over their competition down there and the proposed restructure of it. I did that last night, suggested that we conduct a feasibility study into the possibility of Newcastle entering into the Sydney competition. Of course, everybody realises now that was defeated.
Why was the reason for its defeat?
Well, actually, I don't know. The gentleman on the board that more or less spoke against it said that they felt it was a decision of the Newcastle Rugby League General Committee and not of the Board of Directors. That's why it was defeated.
Graham, what does this mean to Newcastle's chances of getting a team into the Sydney Comp in '84?
I don't think personally that hinders our chances one little bit. I do believe that the majority of the Newcastle Rugby League, the people that control it, if the right submission is put to them and it's proved that it is beneficial to Newcastle Rugby League that we enter a team into the Sydney competition, that it will be carried, and carried by a very large number.
Stewards disqualified Finland's Rosberg, the champion last year, from second place when they ruled it was illegal for the Williams team to push-start his car after a pit stop. Rosberg had recovered from a brief fire in his Williams during the crucial pit stop, returning to the track in ninth place, but drove skillfully to finish second behind Nelson Piquet of Brazil. Manager for the Williams team, Peter Collins, said today he planned to appeal to the governing International Motorsport Federation in Paris by tomorrow night, but said the appeal could take a month to be heard. We gave notification of our appeal after officials disqualified Rosberg last night, Collins said. The rule gave us 48 hours after notification to lodge an appeal.
Last-ditch attempts to relocate the Newcastle Abattoir have failed. The abattoir was closed at the beginning of the year and the 80 employees had formed a company with the view of taking over the operation of the works, providing council could find a new location. The town clerk, Mr Barry Lewis, says he has viewed a number of possible locations, but he has been unable to find an appropriate new site. Mr Lewis says he will put forward a recommendation at the Newcastle City Council meeting tonight that the equipment from the abattoir be auctioned off.
Lights in the sky, spaceships landing on Earth, visitors from another planet who just might want to phone home. Are they all just products of a fertile imagination, or is there a chance that somewhere out in space there's intelligent life? Dr David Stevenson, who's worked on a variety of deep space scientific projects, has been invited to join an international commission inquiring into extraterrestrial life, a quest that's now acquired respectability in scientific circles.
In general, it is now definitely an acceptable subject, about the same as looking for, say, cosmic black holes with radio telescopes. It's the same sort of level.
The image of extraterrestrial beings that's been conveyed by movies like E.T. and Close Encounters, do you think that's a realistic one?
Quite frankly, we don't know what extraterrestrial beings are going to be like. I think it's fairly certain they're not going to drop in and visit us, and it's not going to be easy to contact them. So those films are just stories, and enjoyable stories, but they are not reality.
Do you think they'll be friendly?
I should think they're going to be curious.
Thank you, John. Good morning. Not very pleasant out here at all, I'm afraid, at the moment. The wind very strong from the east, straight on shore. We had plenty of showers during the night. In fact, Nobby's recorded 39 millimetres since 9 o'clock last night. Unfortunately, nothing for the upper Hunter. They're not even receiving rain up at Maitland, so I'm told. Around the beaches this morning, not a very pretty sight at all. Waves around 1.2, occasionally 1.5 metres, but the sea's very confused with those onshore winds. The swell still coming through from the southeast, the wind from the east and quite strong, and conditions just very choppy, messy and basically unrideable. None of our city beaches this morning would look very attractive to the board riders, and if you'd like to go for a swim, I'm afraid most of our city beaches are quite dangerous. We do have sweeps to the north, bad rips and bad undertows, rather than just plain tows as we had yesterday morning. And we have a low pressure trough over most of New South Wales, along the coast at least, from Queensland right along the New South Wales coast. Also an upper trough in the upper atmosphere, and the combination of those troughs and the onshore flow of wind from the ocean bringing us showers all along the coast. Those showers should contract to the north over the next day or so, although we are expecting a few thunderstorms in the upper Hunter, hopefully over the next day or two, and then by the weekend the possibility of further showers developing in the west of New South Wales, with approaching cloud coming from the Northern Territory at the moment. The forecast for today, however, mild and humid with showers or rain periods mainly in the lower Hunter, and they will be decreasing and contracting northwards. The chance of thunderstorms in the upper Hunter, southeast to northeasterly winds at 20 to 30 kilometres per hour on the coast, slight seas on a low swell but increasing. And Newcastle today heading for a top of 23 degrees, Scone managing only 1 degree more at 24. The forecast for tomorrow, or the outlook for tomorrow, morning coastal showers, with southeast to northeasterly winds. High water this morning will be at 3 minutes past 10, 1.7 metres. Low tide will be at 20 minutes past 4 this afternoon at 0.4 of a metre. Well, that's our look at the surf and weather. Nothing around for the surf this morning, I'm afraid, or the beaches whatsoever. And as far as the weather's concerned, more showers, slowly clearing, hopefully by the weekend. Have a great day, whatever you're doing. We'll be back again tomorrow.
I haven't heard any of the rumours, Lee, but I'll sign with Western Suburbs this evening at training for sure.
David, it's been a week or two. You've been negotiating with them over that period, have you?
Oh, we've just had a few problems just to iron out, that's all. Just a bit of paperwork and just waiting for the contract to be typed up. That's the only thing that's been slowing things down.
Do you see it as a difficult job, being captain of the side for 3 years and 3 premierships, and all of a sudden, not the number one boy, but just a player in the side? Is it going to be difficult?
No, it's, actually I'm looking forward to it really if I can play first grade again, because there's the responsibility of the captaincy off your shoulders, and there's also the responsibility of training during the week off your shoulders, and you know, it'll be good to sort of concentrate more on your own game rather than worry about everybody else's game.
I know you've got high regard for Ron Broderick. When you were away with your eye injury, Ronnie Broderick did the work for you, the training work for you.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
There'll be no problem playing with him?
No, Ronnie's a good footballer. He knows what it's all about, and I don't think there'll be any problem there if I can get. The big problem will be, I think, getting back into first grade.
Play resumed at District Park on the outside plexi-paved courts, and it wasn't long before the tournament's #1 seed and winner of 2 satellite tournaments, John Frawley, showed his class in overcoming A-Lane 6-2, 6-4. In another first-round match, Hanson defeated Hayne 6-4, 6-3, and in a very, very interesting match indeed, Wayne Hampson from Queensland defeated young David Cahill from South Australia 6-1, 5-7, 6-3. Institute of Sport player and very promising junior Mark Kratzman struggled a little bit to defeat Kay McLean 3-6, 6-2, 6-1. In another first round match, B Greenwood defeated D Tyson 6-3, 6-2.
I thought we played really well, and perhaps we deserved a draw, but we had a little lapse in the last 5 minutes and they scored from it. And that's just the way it goes, you know.
Tomorrow at the International Sports Centre you're playing Wollongong, a team that you've never beaten before.
Never beaten. First year we drew twice, and last year they beat us twice, so we've got a little score to settle with them tomorrow.
And of course it's the battle not only of the Still Towns, but battle of also from players that have gone from KB to Wollongong.
Yeah, they've got 3 of our ex-players now. They had 5 at one stage, I think. They lost Arno Batonia and Peter Tredinic this year, and now they've got Jimmy Preston, Peter Willis and Jimmy McBreen.
Now Craig, the KB side this year is a little bit closer knit unit than it has been in previous years, so you'd really be looking for a win tomorrow.
Yeah, I think we can win tomorrow for sure.
You've got the captaincy job. How are you enjoying the captaincy?
I think it's doing a lot for my game. I think it will improve my game, and I'm enjoying the extra responsibility.
quick, Hoppy, quick. I know what she's got. She's got a really bad, Five, get girls. Michelle! Five more to get Michelle.
Show what this region can do.
There was a feast of snooker at the Shortland RSL today with the Snookathon in aid of the NBN Telethon. The tournament is the biggest in Newcastle snooker history, with 64 players from all over the viewing area competing for prizes donated by Newcastle business houses. Some $1,600 has been raised in the tournament towards the cause. Organisers say they are most impressed by the high standard of competition. The highest break of 85 was made by Gary Lackenby of Warners Bay, which is on a par with international games. The A-grade final is in progress at the moment between Gary Lackenby and Carl Hedges of Muswellbrook.
For many passers-by, the new bulk loader at Carrington has just been a big green shed. But in fact, the complex is a vital $15 million component of a $200 million development which has its roots deep in the ground at Cobar. The electrolytic zinc company, whose board members visited Newcastle today to look over the new loader, has built what's regarded as the world's most modern lead, zinc and silver mine at Cobar. Concentrates from that mine are now railed to Newcastle, where they can be loaded at the rate of 1,500 tonnes an hour for shipment to the company's smelter in Tasmania or for sale to overseas customers. The loader can be used for other bulk materials. At the official opening, it was described as a valuable asset to the Port of Newcastle. Braving the rain, which is described as liquid gold, Premier Rand performed the official opening ceremony.
DZ has shown the way in terms of investment and in terms of its confidence in the future of the country. This facility will of course provide jobs. It's provided jobs in the course of its construction, and I only hope that the improved industrial relations that have been shown on the waterfront in Newcastle in the last 12 months will characterise the operation of this loader.